the first thing that we wrote. It just started with interior, Scanlan's Wang.
Spiraled out from
and
there.
then we built the show around
Like a
it.
Fibonacci sequence.
Congratulations, all of you. I really love what you've done, and it is so impressive. Like, I remember that first night way back in March 2015, when we all going live for the very first time, and to see how far Critical Role has come, and now the Legend of Vox Machina about to unfold for fans all over the world. It's just really special to see. So congratulations, first and foremost. At what point during the development process did you think we need to have Scanlan hang dong during the first 5 minutes of the series?
You know, showing Scanlan's brain during that first episode was the first thing that we wrote. It just started with interior, Scanlan's Wang.
Spiraled out from there.
And then we built the show around
like a
it.
Fibonacci sequence.
Really, yeah.
No, I don't know how that came up. Certainly, I don't think it was in the script that he would flash the camera. I think he was naked in the script, but I think the board artists might have come up with that one, and we gave him a nice pat on the back for it.
Yes, we're saving that for the Red Band trailer coming out soon. But Brandon, I'm curious. You had the task of helping to distill a truly sprawling campaign over like hundreds and hundreds of hours of story. What's the weirdest note that you got during this process from your collaborators?
The weirdest note. Boy, that's a tricky one.
It is.
Yeah, that's a hard one, guys. What do you think? The weirdest note you're saying from the cast or from Amazon?
I mean,
From cast.
a lot of the things that we think about that we didn't. I mean, they're not weird, but a lot of times it struck me that we have to think about things that many other animated series don't have to think about. Like, is there glass in this world?
Right, in this fantasy world, is it all just open?
Like, are there clocks? Yeah, does a clock work? Does anyone have watches? Like, how do they tell time? Yeah, and so like figuring out how stuff works in this world, in a world where there are brand new things called, there's firearms, but are there toilets? Like, where do people, it's all really interesting to think about. And so we did a lot of like specific world building in the writing of it.
For me, I could say what was most daunting, and is still the most daunting, is that I've never worked on a show, translating a different medium into a show where like every character was created by a different person. So that was super intimidating. I've never, if I'm adapting a book or if it's a comic book or some other world, generally it's one person created all the characters. Where here it's like, every character is created by a different person with different opinions, ideas of what it could be. So that at the beginning for me was terrifying. It's very daunting.
Well, the whole thing feels incredibly cohesive, feels very true to the spirit of the show. So job well done to all of you. I'm curious as well, something that really struck me and it really resonated with me is I sort of tying back to my initial question is, I love that this is an adult animated series. It feels, I think I saw a quote saying like Saturday morning cartoon for adults in the best way possible. Why was it important to you to have a tone like that? And how did you navigate that in sort of the development process and the writing process?
Well, I think when we looked at it, we really wanted to stay true to the show, which is, we drop a bunch of F-bombs, we've got violent imaginations, we like to keep things spicy, they are a group of adventurers, an adventuring party. And so there was really no desire on our end to nerf the show. There were obviously some early interest from various people about like what kind of audience is this for? Could it be younger? We're like, no, I don't think so. We want to make sure that this initial foray feels true to what we were doing. But nailing the tone of the show was always very tricky because people love Critical Role for a variety of different reasons. It's very funny, sometimes it's very serious, it's very emotional. And we can, you can get whiplash going back from those things during the show, but where that usually takes 3 or 4 hours, we have a half hour to deliver this. And so there was a lot of thought that went into it because we want to make sure that it, we always say if we can make them laugh, then we can make them cry. And we want to bring it in so that the audience is invested in those characters. And then we can really do some special things with not just the storytelling, but the individual character arcs of the show.
I have one last question for you folks, and I need to know, will you be releasing an album of Scanthums and power ballads at the end of season 1?
Boy, oh boy, I don't know I don't know.
Taking
what we're
notes.
allowed
I'm
to talk
taking
about,
notes,
but
Dan.
I would love to see an album of not just the Scanthums, which is a great name, and I'm stealing it.
Scanthums.
My gift to you.
But
You got to do it now.
But Neil Acree's amazing score is just a standout feature of the show, and if we can get a soundtrack out, I think I'd be the first one to buy it for sure. So yeah, I hope so.
I'll
Get the
keep my
score and the
fingers crossed.
Scanthums.
Yes, make it a double LP. Problem solved.
Yeah.
With like Yes style cover art.
Done.
Yeah, I need like the gatefold, like a 4X there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, something you can eventually put on the side of a van.
Scanlan fold out on a
Gotta have
bearskin
the
run.
van.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you again so much. Congratulations. You've made something really special, and I can't wait for the rest of the world to get to see it. So thanks again.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dan.
man.